I just got finished up with the NMLS video. You guys are going to love it. I'm taking you through the process of knowing how to search and utilize the system, okay? I just talked about this just yesterday, and I'm going step by step on how to use it, why is it important, and what you can use, okay? I love that part, what you can use it, how you can use it. I did get you guys comments about the book, the mini book, the one that's only $10 that I'm charging you guys for. It is got a lot of knowledge in that book. Actually, I'm doing you guys a solid. If you have not seen my mini free book, it is on my profile. It's the one with the triangle and the all-seeing eye, guys. Go ahead on and flip it, scroll it. It looks like a picture, but maybe you guys don't know that it's actually a book. I did get the wonderful comments under it. I'm so happy that it's helping people. That is the whole point of me being here anyway. Drop comments, share, like, let me know you guys understand. If you have questions, post a question. Don't be scared. And guys, if you know the answer, give them the answer. Don't be stingy. Don't be gatekeeping. Go head on. That's what we're here for, to learn. We're going to have a better 2026. We're going to have a better 2026, okay? So stay tight. Take out your pens. Take some notes. Listen to the video. All right. Love you guys. Bye. Hey guys, I know I told you that I was going to be doing a Midland Funding video, right? Remember I told you guys that? So this is the video. Hold on, I just want to make sure that I am recording. Okay, yes. So you would put it here, NMLS. You do the lookup, and then you would get to this system here. Alright, so before we begin, this is the National Multi-State Licensing Search website, okay? Most vendors, or debt collectors I should say, have to be licensed throughout this system. Not all, and my book that I told you guys about definitely explains that. If you guys want to copy the book, it's $10. Just put book down below after you guys see this video, okay? It goes into the depth of if your state does have to have the NMLS registered through them, or if it doesn't, and if it doesn't, where they do have to register to. They'll have clickable links. It tells you what to do with the information and how that you turn the tables around on these debt collectors when they're coming after you, okay? So, and all the violations that are along with it, and the federal and state violations that they're committing. So let's do, I'm sure you guys know a company called Midland Funding, right? I'm pretty sure you guys probably heard of them. If you didn't, you're going to hear about them today. What you do is you go ahead on and you search it. Okay? And if a few of them come up, don't be worried about this. Just go by the one that's coming up on your report, on your credit report. Now we're here, right? So it gives you all the company's information, their websites, their phone numbers, other trade names that they may go by, which for them there is none, prior or other trade names that they may go by as well. And what's very important is that the regulatory actions. But hold on, before we even get there, here are all the states that they're able to conduct business in. You see all this? It says authorized to conduct business. This is all the states that they're able to actually conduct business in at all, okay? So go down this list here and see if your state is even on the list for them to even be trying to collect from you at all. Now, the fun part. The fun part is right here, regulatory actions, all right? As you can see, they've had a few violations. You can use this. This is your gold pot right here. You know, this is very, very important. Hold on one moment, guys. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So this is the honey pot here. You know, if you're thinking, you know, I wonder if they are in any type of violation. I wonder if they're doing anything at all. You know, if they have some of these, guys, you have hit the gold pot right here. There's one in Maryland. They even had a settlement. It tells you everything you need to know. I actually already pulled it up, right? So here's the settlement here. And you can read through this entire settlement and find out exactly what happened and what was the consequences of their actions, what were they were doing. Look at it, receivables, guys. That means they're on the stock market. I look at little things like that because, you guys know I pull Q-SIPs and everything like that. It talks about the debt buyer, collection agency, exactly who they are, and it goes through the violations. So I'm going to teach you guys a little tee about this. All right. Now you know where to go to find out if they're even registered to collect any type of debt in your state, right? Now you can see exactly where you can see if they've ever been in violation before, all right? So now you've got a good meat and potatoes, and you guys know if they, if who to submit to their consumer complaints right here. You can actually submit a complaint to the regulatories right here. Look at this. You can do view details, they approve, and when did they get licensed. Pay attention to that too, guys, because what if they have been talking to you guys or emailing you guys and they didn't even have the license. Some of these have to do it annually, okay? Like look, license history status here, right? Started in 2024 to present, and then you can go and look to see what the rest of, per state, when were they registered. It's very important information, because what if they're talking to you and they're not even registered? With that being said, let's get them, y'all. Let's get them. I want everybody to understand this, because this is just one part. This is just one. My book talks about many other ways, but listen, this is just one way of getting them to stop in their tracks. We talked about pulling their regulatory actions, right? And then we got right here this settlement. Now listen, ChatGPT is extremely powerful. Let's not get all in a tizzy and wondering what to do. ChatGPT is an extremely powerful tool, okay? So I uploaded their settlement into here, and I'm going to put in what were the violations and the cure. That's important too. How did they cure it? Now look, ChatGPT is going to tell me all about their violations. Let's just take a peek at what they said. Let's see what happens. Look, they want to break it down in simple terms. That's what we want. Real simple. Okay? Let's go. So, the first violation already up, filing debt collection cases without proper licensing, which is what I was pointing at. They're not even licensed. This is for Maryland, by the way. It says debt cases in Maryland. Well, no, it's not just for Maryland. Let me correct that. They're just saying in Maryland, their debt cases after their collection agency license lapse were denied. You've seen all the other states that they were authorized to do debt collection in. This just happened to be for number one, that it was without proper licensing in the state of Maryland, right? So licensing's lapse. That's not you guys' fault. If it lapsed, it lapsed. That's their responsibility to make sure that their license has not lapsed before going after people, right? Filing cases without proper documentation required by Maryland law. Check you guys' state laws. Remember, again, look, after David, listen, I'm doing this live time, y'all. I'm doing this live time right now. You guys want to get a recording, of course, but as I'm doing it, it's live. After David, proof of ownership of the debt. What have I been talking about? Chain of title. They're not having these things is so important. Like, they're breaking the law. Okay, if they don't have these things, if they're trying to say that they own the debt, but then they don't have the chain of title, they're not the person who owns it. Who are you then? Number 3, using law firms who do not meet due diligence requirements. It says they use Maryland law firms that were not properly evaluated or monitored, allowing improper affidavits and defective filings. Come on, y'all. Don't let these... No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that going into 2026. Okay, we're just not going to do it. Number 4, filing judgment on affidavit cases without required verification. They filed cases using affidavits that were not backed by valid documentation. Violating consumer rights. That's fraud. That's what that said to me. That's what I heard. Okay. Number 5, failing to train employees and agents on Maryland's debt collection laws. They did not properly train their account managers, collectors, and lawyers. They have to train the lawyers, y'all. That alone, that alone, that goes to show, don't be scared of these lawyers. They don't all know what they're talking about. I have had encounters with lawyers that I have ended up just them being quiet. Being quiet. Sometimes that's the best thing to do, is to be quiet. You know what I mean? If you don't know what's going on, listen, me included. If I don't know something, I will be quiet in a minute, or I'll just tell you I don't know. You know, so don't be discouraged when, oh well, we'll get our law firm, we'll get our lawyers. Okay, wonderful. That's wonderful. Great. The more the merrier. So we all can look at these laws together. We can learn together. How about that? You know? Number 6, attempting to collect time-barred debt. Statutes of limitations. They were accused of attempting to collect debts beyond the statutes of limitations. Know your statute of limitations in your state. Know them. I believe Maryland is 2 years. I believe. Look it up, guys. It's on Google. Just put in statute of limitations for, I don't know, New York. Statute of limitations for New Jersey, Maryland, whatever it is. Statute of limitations to collect debt. Don't forget that part. Collect debt. If it's time barred, what are we doing? And then number 7, not perform required good faith review before filing cases. Maryland requires a good faith review by an attorney before filing a debt case. They failed to do so. Make sure that these cases are valid. They didn't even check it out. They didn't even look around. They just took the account and said, okay, we'll go collect it for you. Didn't even look around to see if they even owed anything. So what was the cure? Look what they got slapped with. They had to pay Maryland $80,000 in administrative cost. These $80,000. Yeah, that's right. That's them. But what about you? How much do they need to be paying you for your time? That's not this class, y'all. That's not this class. All right. They had to submit new license application and comply with all renewal requirements. I would hope so. Stop filing any Maryland cases without full required documentation. Number 4, implement a full employee and agent training program. Good geez, they even had to put their employees, well, that's a good thing. They're trying to prevent it, you know. Train customer service, the managers, hell, even the law firm. You know what I'm saying? It says it right there, in law firms on Maryland laws. Unless, I know they had to get trained, but let's not take that for granted. Just because they had to get trained at that time does not mean that all these law firms are trained. Keep that in mind, okay? And I'm not trying to go against law firms or nothing like that. What I'm saying is that sometimes they do things one way so much that they think it's impossible for any other way to exist, okay? Sometimes ignorance is really what's going on. They honestly don't even know. And because you don't have a lawyer title or an attorney title in your name, they assume that their way is right and there's no other way. No. Absolutely not. Do not take that for anyone. Like, we all need to be looking at this. We all should be held responsible for knowing how the consumer law works, right? Here we go. Let's number 5 is add internal audits, monitoring, quality control procedures. I used to actually do quality control. I used to actually, back in the day, just a little tea here, I used to actually listen for calls with a bank, and I actually used to listen to make sure that the representatives are actually following the guidelines and stuff like that. So I even know like what that looks like, you know, and they get flagged. Like I was the flag girl. Oh God, I was the snitch, guys. And I hated doing that part of the job. I did. Listening, I would even try to like hold off on people, or even try to like, you know, hey, listen, next call. I used to try to take it in my own hands to try to help a person out. But yeah, these calls are monitored. These things are monitored. Have them pull the file. Hey, now I pull the record. I call on this date at this time, and this is what happened. And I want you guys, you know, when you call, it says all calls will be monitored, guys. This is not just for them. This ain't just for them. It's for you too. And then 6, conduct background checks on employees signing court affidavits. I mean, that's just self-explanatory. 7 is review and approve all law firms with new due diligence process. Yeah, that's something that they need to do. Absolutely. They have to reevaluate every law firm filing debt cases on their behalf. Again, I'm not trying to say anything about the law firms or the attorneys. Some of them do a great job, but all I'm saying is that they may not know all the laws that you would expect them to know. This is a great example as to that, proof to that, okay? Number 8, provide written confirmation, research, and settlement agreements with consumers. Yeah, you have to, if they're, you know, it's not just their side, it's your side. Do you agree? What is it? Do you agree with the settlement? You know, if you guys did have like a contract, okay, you say, okay, I'll go ahead on and pay the debt, fine, I'll pay it, I'm gonna pay this much. I would never do that, but I'm just saying, if you did, you got to make sure that it's in writing, okay? Do not file time-barred cases, of course, and then 10, provide documentations to the board within 30 days. They had to make sure that they had did all this, make sure that all the things that they needed to cure was cured, right? But what I'm trying to say is that you can use this to your benefit. They're already in violation. You already see that they have a few of them, and I didn't even go into all these other ones. More, again, the $10 book, it has way more detail than what I'm doing right now. I'm just doing the NMLS part section of the book pretty much, and this is just a no-brainer, guys. I bet you guys never even heard of the NMLS, or if you did, you kind of thought it was just for brokers to search to see if they have a license or something like that. It's not just for them. Here we are, right here with Midland Funding. And this is all public. It's not something that I'm just trying to come down on Midland Funding. I could have used any debt collecting agency. I just picked them. But it's all the same. They all have to have the license. If they're doing anything in your state, they have to have it in your state here, the debt collector license. There's a few states that don't, and I go over that with the book. It's like 3 of them. And but for the majority of them, they do have to utilize this search engine. This I guess you would call it public notice that they have a license to conduct business within your state. And let's be clear. Let's be very clear. They're registered here. This is their street address. They're in California, and that's fine. What we're saying is that you're in California, but to do business in my state, you have to be authorized to do so. Okay, hope this video was very helpful. If it was, please give me likes. Please go ahead on and follow me. When I get to 1K followers, that's when I'll start doing lives. Waiting until then, I'll just maybe do videos and then share a few books. But I would love to, guys, I would love to go over a live with you guys and do that. If you like the content, please go ahead on and let me know by comment. Oh God, that was a tongue twister. If you need help on something, have questions, go ahead on and you can ask them. We can all engage in the questions. We learn from that, guys. If you guys have questions, put it down in the comment section. We all can chip in and answer each other questions. I'm just trying to get people to understand how things work. I don't give out any type of legal advice. I can't because I'm not an attorney, but I would say fairly that I've had quite a lot of experience that's been successful in not only in my own life but other people's lives as well. And hopefully this video and the books, and there is a free book, guys, that's on my profile. It has a triangle and the all-seeing eye. That's actually a book. It's a free book. It's a mini book. You just scroll over to I think it's the left or the right, whichever way you scroll it, and it's a book. I've got great reviews on that book as well, and it's free to you guys. I don't want everything's not going to cost, I want you guys to actually have just the knowledge in itself. But I hope you guys had a blessed Sunday and enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a like, follow, share. Thank you. Bye.